Greetings to all currently listening to this log. I have been made, but with pleasure, I'm going to apologise for my conduct in my previous log. I must be aware that mech can be as much of an asset to us, but I still think they may be a problem. They can still be just as much of an asset to us. I forgot that my logs are monitored. Luckily, I've still been bumped up to security level 4, as that was already logged on the system and could not be changed. However, I'm going to improve my conduct. Because of this, I will likely not talk about many kaiju today, with many relations to mech or any complicated backstories, but I will talk about some, including this first one, codename Forge. Codename Forge is partially metallic and partially made of stone, and has flame abilities. At first, when taking this thing out, mech wanted to try and use it to help make, I don't even remember, but positive robots or kaiju or something, thinking its Forge abilities could be useful to make new weaponry. Fortunately, a rebellion started in the city we were fighting it in, and when the robot was distracted by all the people fighting against it, the kaiju got a fatal shot. Didn't kill the robot as it would a regular person, but we had to kill it from there. I think it was unfortunate. I believe this kaiju very well could have been an asset. My guidance in moving past my previous annoyances with mech is saying that I will likely take on more cases later in this log that are surrounding them as to see how I will react. But for now, I may cover some more simple kaiju, or even some kaiju that, since I have become security level 4, were actually available to me at earlier levels, like this, which has actually been sent to us on multiple occasions in multiple different varieties. This is codenamed Chainsaw. It's covered in multiple saw-like structures made of bone, which spin rapidly across its body. This leads us to believe that if they spin for long enough, the kaiju would actually end up destroying itself. It also has a metal skeleton. It seems that these kaiju were some of the easier to take out, which leads us to believe that they are not particularly strong, but are sent as not a warning, but to scout out the area for later more powerful kaiju. Differently to the last one, this kaiju is actually one I have only gained the knowledge of due to my uppance in security levels. This is codenamed Kraken. It is filled with a helium gas that allows it to float over cities, but it also has tipped tentacles with spiked tips on the end that can shoot two liquids, a red one which will cause the gas it expels to float to burst into flames, or a blue one that will cause it to freeze on contact. Now, while this kaiju is very powerful and we've not been able to take it out yet, we have been able to injure it. It used to have 7 tentacles, but now it only has 6, quite differently to the animal it most resembles, an octopus. Whilst we believe we will be able to take it out eventually, we should be cautious in case it ever gets any stronger, as it is quite difficult to take out already. Semadeus, I am being required to ask you to cover a more mech-involved kaiju next in your log. I understand. I suppose I'll cover one that I have recently gained access to, Abstract. Now, I will have to retcon something, I guess, in my previous log, when I claimed that a mech portal brought codename Polar into our world. This is incorrect, though the portal did indeed happen and we have only gained knowledge of this recently, so I was not fully incorrect there, though that is semantics. You see, the kaiju that actually came through that portal was this, codename Abstract, which has the ability of flight, in excellent grip, and the ability to shoot colourful flames. You see, this kaiju came to our world, and it created a portal that brought through the previously mentioned codename Polar. But it's since started creating portals to other worlds to bring through more kaiju. At first, we did not know how it was doing this, as we only know of Mech, when they came to us, say that they only know of 4 realities plagued by kaiju, and 2 of those include the one they came from and the one we are currently in. So our theory at the minute is that it is taking regular animals or creatures from the worlds and mutating them into kaiju. We have some evidence for this, but that theory is still currently just a theory. Counselor, I am requesting to cover one more complicated kaiju. If that is what you believe is best? Go ahead, Semideus. Okay, well, I'll cover codename Television then. You see, codename Television shares some DNA with codename Paradox, the first kaiju I covered in my logs, although he does not have human technology crafted to him like that kaiju. He has invaded some cities like Tokyo, which was the first one he invaded, where he takes over screens to put his face on. It seems that he is trying to make an almost nest out of the city, seen by how he crafts the buildings he destroys. We believe he is similar to codename Steam, almost as if he is a wild animal, though he does seem particularly malicious, and has a strange behaviour where, unlike other kaiju, he seems to enjoy torturing and toying with his prey. With how well you covered that last log, and how it related to Mech, I am being required to ask you to cover codename Geyser next. Ah, yes, I've looked into them already. Codename Geyser is one we believe may have relations to codename Forge or codename Moss, who I covered in my last log. You see, both of their bodies, which we were containing, went missing recently, and this kaiju shares DNA with both of them. It shares DNA with codename Moss the most, but we believe codename Forge is the most likely candidate, as codename Moss's body was already much more deteriorated. Its abilities include shooting boiling water from itself, and seeming to have the ability to boil all water around it. This is why, so far at least, we've only seen it attacking coastal cities. Finally, for this log, I'm going to cover once more another simple kaiju. I hope that next week my training and tolerance of Mech will be completed out, and I will be able to cover some more complicated kaiju. But for now, this kaiju. Codename Amethyst has 1 regular hand, and 1 replaced with a crab-like claw that has a tongue within it, suggesting it works as a secondary mouth. There's a large, thick tail covered in amethyst shards, and the rest of its body is also covered with amethyst. It is filled with other alien minerals, but that is the most of its composition. It has the ability to create amethyst out of the ground. We do not understand this ability yet, though it is able to do that, and we have accepted it. It also has the ability of flight. You see, this kaiju is one of the most powerful, at least who arrives recently. You see, most powerful kaiju arrived in the early days and have simply stayed around. But this suggests a concerning truth that more powerful kaiju may be emerging soon.